What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us once again for SHOWMEZ Live. This is episode number 7. We are so stoked to be here. We had over 400 people waiting for this show to start, so we're very excited. If you don't mind, go ahead and please share the link, hashtag SHOWMEZ. Let your friends know that you're here. We have got a lot of great things in store for you. We've got Nate Sexton, Jeremy Colling. We've got Eagle McMahon. Speaking of Nate and Jerem, what's up, guys?
What up?
Hey, Jonathan.
That is a nice looking contraption there behind you, Jerm. What is that?
Oh, well, if we're going to get straight into that, before that, I just want to go ahead and say, I know it's one day late, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I believe my mother is watching tonight from West Virginia, and you should let your mothers watch with you too, because this is a family show. But behind me, I am very excited to show off this new thing that was actually submitted from a fan of the show. I guess I had mentioned that I had a bit of a mini collection and I didn't really know what to do with it. And lo and behold, a watcher of our show by the name of Derek Deru had this idea to do something during these quarantine times. He didn't really have much going on, had some really nice red oak lying around, had some rope. And next thing you know, he had this image drawn up on the computer and sent to me to say, hey man, like I've got something that you can put all your minis in. And I said, not a chance. I've got thousands of minis, but I can take some of my best minis and put them up here. And this thing holds 63 minis. And wow. I was just blown away at the craftsmanship of it. And we just talked more and more. And now he's actually doing another project for me that's not related to disc golf, but it's a very cool thing. And we just have a friendship now. And I just wanted to say that he actually encouraged, this is not what he does for a living. This is the first contraption he's ever made, but he really liked the process of it and he wants to do it for other people. So if anyone's interested and, if you have a more traditional collection habit than I do, and maybe you just keep your normal discs, he can make these things with golf discs. So his email, I think we have an email somewhere for him. You can also find him on Instagram at Derek_Deroo, Deroo. Send him a message and, work out some details because this is some really cool stuff. And my initial plan was to put this in my garage, but when I saw it up, I had to move some things around in my room. And temporarily, the North Carolina map is moved to the side because I just thought this was too cool. And I guess while we're on the topic, I just wanted to show off just a couple of my favorite minis that I have up here. And I guess kind of explain why this thing is so special to me. So like 63 minis on here, they all are special. They're all like a reminder of places I've been, tournaments I've played, friends have given me minis. There's actually some minis that are from memorials of friends that have passed away. And so they all mean something to me. It's all like a little bit of mojo. But, I want to show off this right here first and foremost. This is a micro mini that Discraft made in the 80s. And when I was sponsored by Discraft, I was sponsored from Discraft from 2008 to 2012. I asked Mike Wagner for one of these things every year. And he's like, oh, well, I'll try to find them. Not until I joined Prodigy did he come at me with 4 of these things, one of them being a 1986 World Championships that was held in Charlotte, North Carolina. So this is really cool. The year after I was born. That's right. I was born in 85. Next up is a plug. Nate, I'm guessing you have one of these somewhere in your collection.
I don't know that I do.
Ooh.
Oh, this is something very cool. And you need to contact someone from the team to get one of these because they don't do this anymore. This is what was left over at the end of a champion run. I don't know what disc it was, but they used to have like a little bit left extra and they'd shoot these out into the injection molding machine and they can be used as minis. And the first person I ever saw using a plug as a mini was Ken Climo. And I always thought, I got to get my hands on one of those. That is so cool. And it's just like a little bit of extra mojo you bring with you. Next one is a bit silly. It's Paige Pierce, everyone, and she's wearing some of the most amazing glasses I've ever seen. And for some reason, she's really proud of her Live Strong band.
Wasn't she a librarian before she did the disc golf tour?
She was a librarian. Not many people know that. That's very good, Nate. She was a librarian for 16 years, and then she started playing disc golf, and then she became really good at it. And last but not least is the last one I'll show you. I just like having like these pieces of history that are just random Frisbee memorabilia. And I guess they made this in the 90s for Batman Returns.
Oh my god!
And this is a McDonald's drink lid that they actually paired with the Frisbee brand. And you can see a little straw hole there. And I've actually got two of these things. I got a lime green one. I got the silver one. And just like little random keepsakes like that. Just, I love it. I think it's so cool. But
are you like,
anyhow.
are you hitting up eBay to get these, or like?
No, I usually get these from like you can spot a Frisbee head collector at the fly marts at Worlds. Like, yeah, I'm not looking for new bagged like Macbeth discs that are like, you know, like when the Rock 3s came out and everyone was buying and selling those for a lot of money. I'm looking for the guy in the corner that's got like some really weird stuff that like most people aren't interested in. That's the kind of stuff that I'm like, ooh, I haven't seen this before. And if it's something that like, the one thing I don't have is a Frisbee pie tin. That's the one thing I still want that I haven't collected. I haven't like made a big effort to get one yet, but
yeah,
maybe someone out there is willing to make a trade or something like that. I think that's like another piece of history that I'd really like to have on my wall somewhere. But yeah, I just get it from everywhere. Honestly, just not many, like a lot of trades. Sometimes I buy them. But yeah, I honestly don't know the answer to that question, Nate.
That's awesome. Them. It's a really cool looking rack. I mean, absolute mind blower that he doesn't make those things for a living, though.
Well, he might. I mean, if
he made mini holders for a living. When you said actually he doesn't make these for a living, I was like, didn't see that.
That almost seemed a bit over the top, but no, it's pretty good craftsmanship.
No, but it looks awesome.
It's really good craftsmanship.
No, it looks awesome.
Yeah, and there's a lot of collectors out there. So anyhow, I don't want to give them too much of a plug. It's just a cool thing that a fan did, and it was just like, boom, I got a backdrop now, folks. I've got a disc golf backdrop. All right. So anyhow.
All right. How about you, Nate? What do you got? What fancy stuff do you have to show off for show and tell?
Well, I collect white doors, and I have 2 there.
Whoa.
And I have a ton more upstairs, like probably 6 or 7. So I have probably seven or 8 just beautiful white doors, and you know I keep them almost always there behind me wherever I go. But no, I've been doing well. Just like last time, nothing real new to report. We've had some amazing weather. It's been really hot. Too hot to sleep. It was weird. Like summer hit all of a sudden, but now it's starting to rain again, so all is well.
What's too hot to sleep in Washington? Like 63, 64?
86 high. The day high was 86, and I think at night it was like 60.
Oh,
wow.
But I'm resisting. Like I'm not trying to turn the AC on, not yet. So I suffered through it.
Well,
you're a brave man.
Don't you also collect discs? Like maybe some that you like to give away from time to time?
Sure, I do. Well, I wouldn't say I collect discs at all. I have a lot of discs. I want to give this Mako away that we've been talking about. That's for sure. I'm trying to thin the herd here. This one only did a couple amazing shots. That's it. It's time for it to go.
I'm tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
Let's get it out of here.
Me too. I want it out of here.
I think it's about time to get that thing away. I know there's a lot of people on here ready to go, finding out. They had 5 days to get in there and get entered. We gave them a lot of cool ways to get entered, leaving comments, liking videos, buying some big sexy discs. Specifically gave people a lot of entries.
Gimme.
Oh, sorry. You gotta get your own. But yeah, so we appreciate everyone that got involved. And now it's time. Time to get this thing away. Drum roll, please. Go for it, Mike. Congrats to Mason W, YouTube username Dognald, for winning that beautiful Mako3. Be sure to shoot us an email over to SHOWMEZ@JomezPro.com. Let us know that is you. One more time.
And let them know. Tell them if you want it autographed. Tell Jomez, and they'll tell me.
Yes. Let us know, Mason, if you want that thing autographed. Nate, Cora, Bree, Joby, anybody in the Sexton household would be glad to sign that thing for you. So once again, congrats. Thank you to everyone that entered. We've got a great show for everyone tonight. Of course, we've got fails, we've got Eagle McMahon stepping inside the vault. Who knows how that's gonna go? As you know, we have the history of the vault. We've also got Munch Madness. We've got the Q&As. We've got the trivia. And I'm going to go ahead and throw out another giveaway. Speaking of these big sexy discs that I had here.
What? Already?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're going to give them away by the end of the show. But you got to stick around.
Okay.
Just so you know you're playing for something else besides just watching us talk at you for about an hour. So, yeah, if you don't mind, once again, folks, share the broadcast. We have... How many people we got with us right about now? Looks like... I don't know. I don't see the number. I'm usually good about seeing the number, but I don't see it. Anyways.
Usually at this point, it's about a million people
about
watching
million,
at this
so
point.
We're probably about halfway there. But, yeah, share the broadcast. We appreciate it. We're going to get right into it. Like I said, get entered to win these. I'll let you know. Just stick with us. And
what are those?
Well, these are the 2020 Big Sexy discs.
Yeah, I know that, but like,
this is a
what
Destroyer.
do we got? Destroyer.
Like stamp.
I'm gonna guess the AVR X3.
And this is
Rock 3.
I never know the difference between AVR 3. The AVR 3 and the X3 I always get confused.
Okay.
But
nice.
I don't know, something about
Luster AVR 3s are nice
something about
throwers.
that blue stamp on the green when they do that for us. Innova does a great job with those. They look so good. All right.
Yeah, that's Jomez all the way, baby.
We're gonna have a couple discs to give out by the end of this thing, along with some other good things. So let's move on. I think we know what time it is. Everyone knows what time it is. The first thing we get into right after the pleasantries is, of course, the fails of the week.
Yes.
That is rude.
Okay. Oh, looks like we got a spotter here. Oh.
Whoa, it's that slick.
Okay. Why'd you throw us?
Oh,
He got cocky. Don't never get cocky.
the angry throw. Now you got muddy hands. And considering
my
you're still
prediction-
watching, I'm guess it's going to get worse.
Oh
my gosh.
Never put the wrist down. That is how you break everything. Ask Eagle McMahon. That is not good.
Wow.
That is how you. I'm just kidding, Eagle. Please still join the show. I'm just messing. Oh God, I hate seeing that. You know when
so much more slick than it looks. Like it doesn't look that bad.
All right, sidearm.
Okay. We had one of those last week, but at least last week it was snowy, so it's like, yeah, I had cold hands.
Yeah.
This time it's like, I don't know, maybe leave the olive oil at home. You don't need to bring that out on the course.
That's what I'm saying. My analysis of this is that this is not. It almost looks like it could be staged. This isn't staged because that is actually hard to do. I mean, that thing had zero rotation and just came right out of the hand. That is not. You can't just do that on the fly.
We got a nice looking throw so far here. Oh, got a deer.
And she realizes that right here.
Do you think it hit the deer? I think so.
Certainly scared the crap out of it.
Just like a 10-foot vertical right there.
That is some solid. Oh my gosh. I think the deer avoided it. Oh my God. That is awesome. I mean, as long as it didn't get hit, of course. I mean, I know this. This is hole 5 at USDGC, and we have supreme thrower alert here.
If this works,
this could be a win. Stand up.
No.
That's crazy. So he's just thinking, I don't know what he's really trying to do, because obviously that's a really flippy disc. He's going straight at the trees, trying to move a little right, goes a little low with it. That honestly could get parked, but it's a level 15 out of 10 difficulty to throw that shot.
You're already giving him too much credit that he's throwing at those trees. He's trying to throw right at the trees, in my opinion. I think that
you might be right.
Oh,
into the.
Okay, the only thing disc golf related here is that people are wearing bags and there's a basket in the middle. Other than that, that's just like a life fail.
Yeah, well, you know, disc golf's part of life. Straight in the water.
Ugly. Seriously, we could just watch a wall and just have Mike do the oh boy, and that would be enough for me.
Oh, we got the trick shot video coming. Ohio State competitive diving team.
This is awesome. All right. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh! That was amazing. Oh my
Sweet.
God. I would love to have the courage to jump off a high dive and just to do it. Much less
You don't think you could do it?
I could. I feel like now in my life I have the courage to do that, but like I've never done a flip successfully into water. Like that frightens me.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I could pull a flip. I'm just saying I could jump off of a high dive.
Yeah. I feel like that's like how you become like how you go from being like a child to a teenager is like you do your first flip at the community pool. I went straight from child to like adolescent or like I don't know. I never had that little fun period where I could do tricks.
Man, I used to be able to go to the high dive, and I learned to do a backflip off of a high dive when I was like 10. And now, like, I think about that, I'm like, what was it that was just like, oh yeah, who cares? There's no way you could get me to. I can barely jump off a high dive, let alone just like stand there, face the wrong way, and then just go for it backwards. Like, come on.
It reminds me of one of my favorite memories from college. One of my best buddies we used to go to the pool, and there was a big diving board, like a 14-foot diving board, and he attempted like for hours, and this was like many nights of the week, he attempted to do the double gainer, which is the front-facing backflip.
Yeah.
And he tried to do the double gainer, and every single time, whack, every part of his body, and like,
ouch,
finally landed it, and we stopped going because he
that
didn't feel pain until he landed it. Ugh. And oh my God, I would just watch. I would just like jump off the water and do a pencil dive.
Yeah,
that was my trick.
Oh man, thanks to everyone for sending those clips in week after week. We really appreciate it. The fails, the wins, all of it makes for really great content. Thank you so much for sending that in. And we did change it up a little bit. So if you want to send those clips in, now we changed it up. If you go to JomezPro.com/SHOWMEZ, you'll see all the details there. We made it a lot easier to get those clips uploaded and sent over to us so that Jerry can get in the fails machine and sort all those from the worst of the worst to the best of the best. We appreciate it week after week. It's always makes for a lot of fun. All right, it's that time to step into the vault. You know who we're bringing in. We let you know that Eagle McMahon will be joining us, and so now let's see the thin young bird. There he is, Eagle McMahon.
Yes.
What is up?
Oh my
How's it going, guys? Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Welcome, man.
Where are you
in a dream right now? What's going on?
Yeah.
They asked me. So they asked me if I wanted to blur behind me, and I said yes. Thank you, Skype.
I wish they would ask me.
Yeah, I know.
They've never asked me
How much did you have to pay for the blur feature, the upgrade?
I don't know, man. I think it's just it's a Discmania hookup on Skype.
What brand of spaceship is that you're in? Is that one of the TIE fighters?
I don't really know my spaceships, but I guess it's a TIE fighter.
It kind of looks like it. The windows look.
TIE fighters are tiny. That looks like the most spacious. Like, what is that? Where are you? What is going on right now?
So I am in Huntsville, Alabama right now.
Of course.
Rocket City.
Of course.
A lot of NASA business going on here. This house is actually designed by a NASA engineer. It's an Airbnb. I'm here visiting my girlfriend. I've been here for about a week now, just enjoying myself. Social distancing, kind of in the middle of the woods right now.
That's
and
sweet.
Just having a good time. It's blurred behind me, but you see that I got a basket back there. I've been doing some practice putting inside. I hope the the people who are renting this Airbnb aren't watching because we definitely have hit the walls a few times, but nothing too bad. Nothing too bad.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
just enjoying myself down here.
Awesome.
Imperial Star Cruiser. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, thank you,
Okay.
I know the
Benjamin, for
answer.
letting us know what model of spaceship Eagle is sitting in right now.
And he's got an alien last name, so you know it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got one of those.
Oh, well, and this time last week we did 2015 GPO round 2 with Simon, and we kind of
Before everyone learned to adapt.
Well,
Okay.
still, somebody plays well. He's just showcasing the person that doesn't. So that excuse would work if everyone's play, went down. But it's usually only the person that he's featuring. But I appreciate
We're only
the
like
justification there.
four episodes into the vault, so relax. There's plenty more to go. This one is going to be 2015 GVO final round, and if I recall correctly, this is the first time that I had ever even heard the name Eagle McMahon. There you were. You had just shot a pretty stellar round, because I'm pretty sure it put you like a stroke behind Paul Macbeth. This had to have been your first time on the big stage, right? On the national tour final round lead card.
Yep, this is kind of where everything began. The round before I was chase card, and I think I shot like a 48 or 49 or something at Jones East.
Yeah.
And it was like 1071 rating. I tied Paul. It was one stroke from him going into the final round, and my world was just shaking. It was like insane to look up to Paul Macbeth, look up to Dave Feldberg, Will Schustrick, and all of a sudden I'm playing on the lead card for the win. I couldn't believe it. It was like all of my dreams were coming true.
And so at this point, how long had you been playing pro? Like to from when you started till you made it to this point?
Oh gosh. So this is 2015. I think I was playing open for about 4 years leading up to this point. So I had some experience, but everything was all local.
Yeah.
But you were only, I mean, even when the Eagle we're about to watch is freshly 17 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just turned 17.
Still, but a seasoned 4-year veteran. Of the pro division. So I don't know. I mean, you can say you had a lot of experience. 13-year-old experience, it maybe doesn't count quite the same. That's incredible that you were in that spot that young.
I still can't believe it. Like, just the fact that it was 5 years ago. It's I mean, I still feel young now, and I was way younger back then on the lead card of a NT. So just mind-boggling.
Well, let's get into it. Let's step into the vault.
We're looking at a good battle so far.
Kind of got the show down.
Yeah, I just came right out and said Big Sexton commentary. That's what we'll call it.
Paul Macbeth.
And right off the bat, that is a tight grouping at the top. It's like one stroke that separates everyone, I believe. This was such a great starting hole. I really do miss it. I think the course is in a better place now, but man, this is like one of those shots that you are totally looking at and attacking, right, Eagle?
Yeah, for sure. This was my favorite variant of hole 1 at Country Club. I know, like you're saying, the course flows better now, but this hole was just amazing. So right now I'm feeling just crazy nerves, and if you hear in the background, you got Rump Shaker by I don't even know who, which was not my tee-off song of choice. Originally I wanted Circus Survive, Get Out, and they messed it up, and this right here was kind of the beginning of the end.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Foreshadowing, folks. Foreshadowing. Is Eagle gonna get oolied?
We'll see.
Oh my gosh, jump around. Felberg's not jumping much. Unless this
That disc is jumping around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. What a crush. I mean, just out driving Macbeth and Eagle McMahon off the bat. Pretty sick. Schustrick's a former winner of the GVO. Ariel King. Oh my gosh. Did that go OB?
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, me neither.
So as you can see, there's a pretty stiff tailwind right now.
Not for
And
you.
not for me. I just remember seeing what happened to Paul's putt. I'm like, oh, I can definitely throw it high, and it's definitely going to drop. Nope.
Oh man.
And
So it's a headwind and it drops.
Yep. Exactly.
That's a tough starting hole for your first ever national tour tee off. And I remember meeting you very vividly. It was the first time I'd ever seen you throw a shot was at the Memorial 2015, right after the playoff that Paul and I had. And I remember this really young, really skinny looking guy that was wearing a hat slightly to the side, kind of like you are now, just ripping bombs backwards on hole 15, just like crushing. And I was just like, I've never seen this kid before. Who is this guy? And then the next thing I know, the next national tour, here you are, last round lead card. I'm like, Eagle McMahon? What is this guy?
I remember congratulating you after you won Memorial. I was just in there in the crowd. I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing.
That's the big germ.
The big germ.
Many years ago.
Man, I'm getting all kinds of. I saw a super chat for my door collection. This is for my garden. I'm expecting that money, Jomez. That says pretty clearly where they want those super chats going.
That right there. That's tough to catch up with a guy who's throwing shots like that.
Oh no. So, you know what I was thinking?
Don't throw it out of bounds.
Like, I was like, this is my chance to impress Will Schustrick, this standstill master. I'm going to throw a standstill here for no reason. That's what I did.
Oh, that is a super 17-year-old thing to do.
That's a solid putt. I tell you what, no one has ever played this course without it being at least 18-mile-an-hour winds, not in tournament play at least. So if you're 25 feet away and you make a putt, good job.
Yeah, circle 2 percentage in Emporia is like 6.
Yeah. That is a sick drive from Feldy. Oh, the hat's gone backwards, folks.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm tired of taking bogeys.
This is a I don't know if you've ever been sensitive about your weight, but this is a real question. Has the wind in Emporia ever moved you in a run up?
In a run up?
Yeah.
I think it probably has.
He's thinking about it.
I don't think so. I think
I've usually have pretty good. I have pretty good balance, but it gets pretty gusty out there, and I've definitely slipped off a few tee pads here and there.
I don't think you'd be at very high risk. I mean, you're thin anyway. You slice it, and you wear a slim-fitting short. I don't think you're going to catch a whole lot of drag. You're no matter where that wind tries to hit you, it's just going right around.
I cut through the wind really, really nicely, kind of like a knife.
You really do. What year did you come to Europe with Paul and I?
I believe it was next year, 2016.
Okay.
No.
So,
no.
I remember I wasn't at this tournament, but I remember seeing the results and going, "Man, look at this kid." And then I remember getting to go and travel with you over there. It was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Those were the days.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can only imagine what it must have been like for you. With me and Paul, you must have just been thinking, man, two coolest guys I've ever met, and I get to spend all this time with them.
Oh, man. It really was an amazing time. I mean,
Eagle, do not pay him off. Do not pay him off right now.
I'm dead serious. I mean, Nate's a great guy. Paul's a great guy. Both of them were like mentors to me and still are. So it was just a really cool experience.
You know, what I'm noticing right now through these holes that we've seen so far, I actually kind of thought that as you played on tour more and had more experience, that your game had changed in the way that you look as far as the way you throw. But I mean, yes, it has gotten better and more. I don't know. It's just more efficient. But your style, the way you putt, your forehand,
Yeah.
It all looks so similar to the way you play now, and that's kind of surprising to me, because I thought that you had, gotten 10 times better. But I mean, honestly, it looks really similar.
And I think the kind of the narrative out there is sort of like Eagle got this huge forehand recently, but it's kind of been there for a while.
Yeah, I think I just got a little bit more confident throwing it. Like, the one thing to note about me, I'm having a little bit of a meltdown here. This fun fact, this hole is literally my nemesis. But yeah,
this one. Wow.
Yeah, back then the tee pad was shifted a little bit more to the right, so it kind of opened up the fairway a little bit better.
That's
that
a
shot.
Good sidearm birdie. Man, that you really are showing off the sidearm distance there. I mean, I specifically remember the first time I ever saw you throw a forehand was at Swope Park, and there was this 450-foot hole that was like uphill a little bit, and I remember that you had the box on me and you threw first, and I remember you like parking this hole. And I thought in practice, I was like, I've tried throwing forehand here. I can't get there. So you made me throw forehand, because I was like, I'm not going to let this kid outshow me. And I threw it, and I remember crushing it and feeling really good about it. And I came up like 40 feet short.
I remember that exact moment. And afterwards, like, what the heck did you do? That doesn't even make sense. You don't have a big forehand. Why'd you do that?
I didn't know. I learned right there at that moment that indeed you do.
So we kind of got off topic a little bit. That last hole, I just decided to sail putt like crazy. And at least I've been redeeming myself well.
And the crowd is on your side. I mean, they are pulling for some Eagle McMahon.
For sure. That was awesome. That's what got me hooked, here in the crowd.
Yeah.
It is one of the best parts.
This is kind of a whole McMahon showcase, which is pretty cool. Normally, it's kind of a little bit of a mixture of this, a little bit of bad shots from whoever we're showcasing. We're just showing the whole round right now, which is pretty cool.
This hole. So I'm putting for Eagle right here.
Oh, no.
On a par 5. Right off the top of Veteran.
Did you just fall all the way backwards?
Yes.
Oh.
Ouch.
It was a really weird feeling, because, like, of course I wanted to do better, and I was a little bit disappointed, but at this point I got my goal. I didn't even know what my goal was, but I definitely got it. I was playing on the lead card. I made a name for myself, so just that right there was a huge win. I know after this event, my life literally changed.
Yeah.
So it was really special, even though this isn't all that impressive.
Oh, it is. It's very impressive. I mean, like we said, you're 17 years old. You were one stroke back of the player who went on to win, Colin McBeth, obviously. And I mean, you're making a name for yourself. Like, not many people ever get the opportunity to play on a league card at National Tour, let alone, way more importantly, the last round. And that shows that you were there. It wasn't just an accidental great first round. You played great the whole tournament. And as a 17-year-old who, frankly, at this point, none of us had really heard of outside of Colorado, you just really emerged on the map like immediately. And it just really seemed like you haven't gone away since. Which is
it almost seems like you're not going away anytime soon.
You think? Oh, man. Well,
That's
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys.
Oh, well, thank you for living through that. I don't think it was that bad. I thought you got off pretty easy. I think we might be starting to turn the tide a little bit. Whoever comes out, we're starting to take a new direction, because that was good. It was a little bit of both, but definitely hearing your thoughts on that for such a big moment for someone who just like technically came out of nowhere. I mean, I know you were locally known and stuff, but I mean, like I said, I hadn't filmed a ton of tournaments, but even from round 2 to round 3, I didn't know who you were. There you were warming up, and they go, "Hey, that guy's name's Eagle McMahon. He's really good. He's from Colorado. Here he is." And we were just like, "All right," you know. So it was really cool to see just basically from that day to here we are 5 years later. It's awesome.
I mean, this was April 2015. Fast forward to January 2017. This guy almost wins a major championship. So this wasn't like a long time coming. This guy was just like, whoop, I'm amazing. And then just like, I'm just going to sustain amazingness. You know, it's just like a very rare thing in our sport. We see some people kind of creep up and get better and better over time. Not this guy. This guy was just immediately out the box, just like concentrated greatness.
You could say this dude's living in Rocket City.
You could say that.
He's just going right to the top.
Definitely not living in Rocket City. I call Boulder, Colorado my home. But yeah, I attribute it to just the people around me, Discmania, you guys, everyone around me just kind of helped me fast track to where I've come to. And it's really just disc golf and the community in general that makes it all possible. So huge shout out to the sport of disc golf.
I honestly don't even think it's embarrassing. You can watch as many GBOs as you want. Country Club, Emporia, Kansas, they don't even have putting there. It isn't there. So, you know, you could pick any pro and you can show just a bunch of like, 20-footer high, over the basket, low. You know, it's like they just don't do putting there. It's not part of the game.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
would you say 2016, last question, 2016, were you superstar blogger or vlogger or disc golfer in 2016? What were you better at?
I'd say it was about a tie. I dedicated pretty much the same amount of time to both of those things, which
I think that was like one of the things that's what brought you to the presence that I felt like this guy is like, whether or not he emerges, which it didn't take long for you to do so, but whether or not that happens, you already had a fan following just with that online presence. And I think that's actually a pretty good thing for a lot of up and coming players to maybe take note of, find a way to, you know, separate yourself from the masses, whether it's an online presence or not.
It's definitely the X factor. I always get the question, what can I do to get sponsored or bring something unique to disc golf? It's be unique yourself, be awkward, and showcase that, own it. And you'll be surprised how many people will see that and appreciate it. And I feel like that's kind of what I did, and it worked out. So any up-and-coming disc golfers looking to make it in some way or another, don't be afraid to be unique and show your true colors.
And keep on dreaming.
Keep on dreaming. Exactly.
You're right about that.
All right. Well, we put out a post earlier today asking people to submit some questions for Eagle. We got tons of questions across Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So we picked out just a few here. And so as far as the social media ones from earlier in the day, you guys want to get involved in those, because if we pick your question and put it on the screen here in just a minute, you automatically win $20 to the JomezPro.com shop. So if you see your question on here from social media only, not from the live chat, we are going to pull from that, but I just want to make it clear. Send us an email to SHOWMEZ@JomezPro.com so you can claim your prize. All right, so the first question for Eagle. Eagle, what's your favorite eagle you've ever carded? From Jack Straw on YouTube.
Oh my gosh. I was so bad at this kind of stuff. I don't have a good memory of like what I've done out on the course. One that comes to mind, it was at Disc Dash for Cash. It was an unsanctioned event back in 2016, and I got back-to-back eagles. One of them was on this like crazy uphill 600-foot hole, and at the time we were playing on DD marksman's baskets. The format of the tournament was we played 4 rounds. 2 of the rounds were on normal baskets, and the other 2 rounds were on marksman-style baskets. And I parked, or I quote-unquote park this like 600-foot uphill par 4 and made the putt from like 20 feet, which was terrifying on basically a pinhead of a basket. And Central Coast got a pretty good video of it. Just search Eagles if you want to see that, and I think that one was really cool, and that one stands out to me.
That question
my
is
favorite
like.
is your. Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say that question's like asking Steph Curry to talk about his favorite 3-pointer. This dude's got so many eagles in his career. It's not that easy to just call back.
The one from Solitude stands out for me. The MD3 down the hill, 1,000 feet. And then you had to make like a 45, 50-foot putt. I mean, that was a solid putt you had to make after that.
That one was really good.
Oh gosh, I could watch that flight all day long.
The most memorable eagle was on the one-hole GBO from 2018. The throw-in.
I was hoping you would mention that.
That had the amount of momentum I got from that shot. I think Simon was up by like 4 or 5 strokes in the lead, and he took a big Simon number on that hole, and I eagled, and all of a sudden we were tied. It was just so crazy how everything went down. That's
big Simon number.
That's definitely the eagle. For sure.
Where's the graphic?
Yeah.
Where's the graphic? A big high Simon number. Oh boy.
Yeah, I remember even like the next day, like Sports Center shared it like on their social media. Like it was a big deal. That was so much fun. I love when stuff like that gets picked up, like because it just makes me feel so good for what we're doing that even people that have no idea what's going on can go, holy cow, that dude just threw that disc like 350 feet or maybe longer. I'm trying to remember exactly how long it was, all the way down the hill and just about knocks the basket over. Like if that was a tent basket, that disc wasn't staying in. It was definitely knocking the basket over. So many memorable shots. So we're glad to have, to have been a part of some of those. And of course, Central Coast, I remember that other tournament. That was pretty sweet to watch. And then how nerve-wracking it was watching you guys having to putt on those baskets. I'm glad to have that video out there. All right, let's move on. Another question. Dear Eagle, when will we see the great return of Eagle in the Pants, aka Skinny Florals?
The Skinny Florals. Well, last year, was it last year?
That was 2018.
That was
VPO 2018, I'm pretty sure.
So they made both times they were on camera were both in Texas, one at Veterans Park Open 2017 and 2018 at the final round of Nick High Memorial. I gave them away to a fan. After the round, I remember I had a pair of shorts in my bag, and after the round was over, it was getting hot, it was Texas, and I run into the bushes, change my pants, and then I just say, who wants these pants? And like a bunch of people's like, me. Some fan gets them, and then I get a message like a couple months later says that they're in a shadow box in his basement, framed on the wall.
Oh, okay, all right, that's okay.
The reason why I got rid of them is because I got them from a thrift shop, and the crotch was busted out. It was not very poor stitching. And my grandma had to fix them every time I wore them. So they were good for pretty much one round and then busted crotch. So they were a little bit too much of a liability. So that's why I had to go with it.
There's got to be someone out there that's got this pattern that can make it into a stretchy material, and we can make some quality disc golf pants for the skinny what is it, the skinny bird, the tall skinny bird? What's the
Thin Young Bird.
Yeah, Nate started calling him Thin Young Bird.
Get him these pants again, folks.
Somebody message Eagle. Let's get this man just back.
And make an extra pair because I want him too.
Okay, let's keep moving. What do we got? Next question. What were the first thoughts going through your head when you smacked your hand and felt the pain? Was it immediate regret, a hollow feeling, or just more annoyance, or something else? That's a fair question. I know a lot of people be wondering that. From Portland Open last year, for anyone not familiar.
Wasn't this USDGC?
Yeah, USDGC.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was at Portland.
No.
Portland was the elbow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, USDGC. I remember the People's Elbow more because like how just like intense it was.
Yep, I was all good after Portland.
Okay.
So I like how you're breaking out the hard-hitting questions.
Literally. Okay, that's good.
Literally. So when it happened, a lot of people think I just hit the ground. I actually hit a whale sack with half of my fist, and my pinky and ring finger kind of got jammed up, so it just made a really uneven, hit with the ground. And then tapped in my putt. The walk from 16 to 17's tee pad, I was just like, usually when you hit the ground, I mean, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure most disc golfers have hit at least one thing in their career. It usually goes away, and this wasn't going away. I got to hole 17, and Eric Oakley was there with me, and I'm like, dude, I think I did something bad. And he's like, what? He's like, don't worry about it. Just finish the round. And then afterwards, I'm like, you know what? This pain isn't going away. Something bad definitely happened, and I didn't know what to do. I just felt really bad about myself, as you probably would, because I was leading the tournament, and afterwards I literally didn't know what to do. Media crews were coming to me, asking me for interviews, because I was in the position where you want to interview that person, and I just decided I got to leave the course. I got to call my dad, figure out what's going on. The next day I went to urgent care, got the x-ray, got confirmation that I had a boxer's fracture, and I wasn't even going to play. That probably would have been the smart thing to do, but I had to at least try, because it was going to be my final tournament of the year, and to try and get the title was really important. But that's all retrospect now. Go ahead.
No, please finish.
Oh yeah, that's all retrospect now. I'm honestly glad that it happened, because you can punch the ground all you want, and you're not going to learn your lesson until it breaks. So I really believe that was the thing that I needed to kind of move my career forward. Luckily, my hand's all good. I can still play disc golf pretty well, I think. So nothing healed weird, and I'm glad to have it behind me, and I'm looking forward to having a smile on my face when I'm out on the course in the future.
All about learning lessons,
Very
man.
good. Yes, thank you
Really
for
is.
entertaining that question. Hopefully that wasn't out of bounds for another disc golf pun. Oh boy, thank you so much, Eagle, for coming on. Thanks for going through the vault, answering questions from the fans. We really appreciate it. I'm glad things have developed the way they have since we first saw you in such a short time, like we said. So thanks for helping us relive kind of the beginning of introducing the world to Eagle McMahon.
Yeah, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. What you do is just incredible, and the fact that I can be a part of any capacity is just a complete honor. So
yeah, well, of
you
course.
guys are the best.
Oh yeah, we gotta
Bring it in, guys.
Come on.
It's not as easy as it looks. Yeah, get there, Eagle.
Why is your
yeah.
fist so huge? You're the biggest fist of all time.
Okay. Well, if you're not already, which you should be, this is silly for me to even have to say, but if you're not already subscribed to Eagle McMahon on YouTube, what is it called? Eagles Vlogs, right?
Eagles Vlogs.
Eagles
yep.
Vlogs. So be sure to go follow him. He's probably taken a little bit of a break, a well-deserved break through some of this, but I know that he did have the mile challenge. How many throws it takes to throw a full mile? You know, you had Simon and Double G and Drew and Thomas Gilbert in there, so that was fun to kind of have you introduce another challenge. I know Simon was behind some of those too, so that was a lot of fun to watch that play out. I think you even did a forehand version of the mile challenge. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was I don't know. That's crazy that you kind of sit there and like just cranked on these throws to see how many was. How many was it for backhand? How many throws was that? I can't remember.
So backhand, it was 11 throws, but the last throw was like, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of short.
Or no, it was 10 throws. The last throw was like 175 feet.
You couldn't quite get to like 9, I think is what I remember. And then forehands wasn't like 3 feet or something short on the forehands one or something.
Forehand was 12 throws, with the exception of the final throw being like 3 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
And then of course
who's leading in both of those?
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Double G got it at 9. Drew got it at 9. I haven't seen any forehand videos for the mile challenge, So I can't tell you there.
Maybe everyone got too tired. You're the only one to have completed or attempted both of them. So, and then the anime one, real quick, just the 30-second pitch behind what made you do the disc golf anime video. That was so funny.
Oh my gosh. What you call someone who's dorky and kind of into anime is a weeaboo, also known as a weeb, and I definitely consider myself one. I've been watching anime probably for about 6 or 7 years now, and that is a Naruto opening, or Naruto opening 16 to be exact. And there's been a couple spoofs of it, like if you look up Avengers Endgame, there's an Avengers anime opening. It's kind of like a meme at this point, and I just figured I have to be the person who brings disc golf into the anime world, and I had so much fun making it, and me personally, I think that's my best video ever. I love it so much.
I haven't seen that.
I loved it. I didn't understand any of the references, but I was still laughing out loud at just like how I felt like you knew exactly what you were doing and bringing the disc golf and writing out everything, and it's saying like JomezPro, and then you had Albert Tem and it said bazooka. Like it was just like, I don't know. You got to watch it, Jeremy. Everyone out there should go watch it.
In the Japanese text during the video, I just said everything was like how it said JomezPro was like, thank you for all that you do, JomezPro, in Japanese. So maybe some people understand that, but
that was so good.
It was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thanks again for Eagle coming on. Go subscribe to Eagle. Go check out those videos we mentioned. We hope to have you on again sometime in the near future. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
See you, buddy.
Keep on dreaming.
Later. Who's hungry?
Oh,
I know I am. I'm starving.
Go.
I purposely don't eat dinner ever since Munch Madness started so that I can just have like an open mind. I know I hardly ever get to vote, but you know what? I still get to eat. So
on camera.
Yeah, on camera.
That's,
you know how much people love that joke.
Eating. What I'm learning is that eating food is great and I love it, but eating food on camera, that's the next level of eating. And if you haven't done it, it's going to gross a lot of people out. But you're going to like it so much more than you've ever liked eating before.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is our third week of Munch Madness 2020. We got a lot of people that are still alive in the race for the perfect bracket. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to end up with the most points by the end, but there's something about having a perfect bracket when you're participating and just seeing how long that can last. We started with 1,000 people. We only have 90 perfect brackets left.
Wow.
Brackets busted.
We're going to play them right now. They're going to scroll pretty quickly
Mad
because
Munchers.
there's 90 of them. The Mad Munchers, as we're calling them. There's 90 people with a perfect 40 points. And, of course, right behind them, there's people that have, very close. I think 30 points would be the next one. So congrats to all of you that are still in the hunt. There they are, the perfect 90,
Nice.
The Mad Munchers. We've had quite a few snacks to go from the first 2 weeks. They're here in the third week. Let's see what our matchups are. Here it is.
How did
Wait,
pizza get in here?
What?
This is the all right. Look, first off,
All right, I'm gonna start
why-
eating.
Okay, I'm gonna start the timer.
Okay, our timer started, but I'm gonna go ahead before I even start eating. I want to go ahead and say there are so many snacks better to bring on a disc golf course than pizza. How on earth did this happen?
All
and for
we
it to
did
go
was
against
take the
jerky.
top 16 votes. So we didn't.
Look, this right here is the eventual champion. Go ahead and get used to it. I went ahead and bought the family size bag because I knew I was going to be eating it the next time it shows up.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop me from making a nice pizza tonight. Now, I want to ask you a question, Nate.
Hey,
Would you ever eat your pizza cold?
I would, but
Would you ever Yeah.
You had me thinking when we were doing rehearsal. Jerem said, "Oh, I would never vote for pizza. It'd always be cold on the course." And I thought, say you took a little slice of pizza like this. Say you toss that in a Ziploc baggie, put it in a Tupperware, pack that with hand warmers, aluminum foil around the package, and then down in the Tupperware. Maybe that's a disc golfer's oven. That follows you. That sits in the bag, comes out nice and gooey. I don't know. I'm not going to try it because I think can warmers are kind of gross next to my food, but that's a freebie. That's a freebie. That's for the fans. They can have that idea.
I'm pretty sure I've done something along those lines, and it takes a frozen pizza to piping hot in by hole 8.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, first off, I want to go ahead and give credit to where credit's due. This is Home Run Inn frozen pizza. This is one of my favorite brands. I've been eating this since high school. By far my favorite frozen pizza. I love this pizza. Am I bringing it on the disc golf course with me? Hell no. This is not a disc golf snack. This is a disc golf snack. This is a trail hiking snack. Beef jerky all the way. That's the easy one.
Yeah, pizza. I mean, pizza tastes great. It's not a disc golf snack. Jerky.
There was enough people that voted on it, so I don't know what the deal is, but jerky it is.
If you had a perfect bracket, if you're a mad muncher to this point and you got this one wrong, you don't deserve to be a mad muncher anymore.
I think you were just flipping coins. If you got that far and then you picked pizza, you were just flipping coins.
Not a chance.
Let's go. Matchup number 2,
wow.
Cliff Bar versus Crackers.
Now, again, Crackers are, I will give them credit. It is a good, handy size to bring with you in your disc golf bag, bring with you on the course. You guys went with Ritz. I went with Keebler. I was actually looking for Lance, which is a local, I think they package those locally.
I've never tried peanut butter banana, but
these
sounds pretty good.
These are two what's the word? They crunch up and it's, I don't know.
I forgot.
I got a Cliff Bar chocolate peanut butter, nut butter filled. This sounds
That's pretty fancy.
Awesome.
I've never had the filled ones.
I got the
hey,
peanut butter banana with dark chocolate.
one.
I've never tried this one before.
Whoa, that sounds
How
great.
random. Out of all the flavors, we picked the same flavor.
I know. Well, I've never seen it before, and I
Me
figured I knew that Cliff Bar was going to go on because there's no way these dinky little crumb crackers are going to go on next to the Goliath that is the Cliff Bar, especially when Nate Sexton's one of the voters, one of the biggest Cliff Bar advocates I've ever known.
Am I?
That I know. Absolutely.
Wow. I got all this packaging for my ASMR freaks again. My wife's probably watching the show upstairs. She's loving this.
Shout out to Cliff Bar, who is in no way a sponsor and hasn't even attempted to sponsor the show.
No way you're going to beat a Cliff Bar. I will say, I'd be lying if I didn't say that Cliff Bar is it's such a good snack, but sometimes it's almost too filling, and I don't eat the entire bar. I put it back in the bag, find it 8 months later, and it's become a rock.
I've done that. I think everybody's done that. You open it and then it's just like you can use it to throw at a disc up in a tree at that point. So that's another good thing that if you do forget it, it doesn't go to waste.
Yeah, man,
No question, Cliff Bar.
This is the easiest. I mean, there's going to be 90 more perfect. Those guys are all staying perfect because this is the easiest round we've ever had, especially considering pizza just got knocked out, and this thing is like the same parts as pizza, but way worse than pizza. So this doesn't hold a candle to this chocolate peanut butter Cliff Bar. This is a landslide victory.
I mean, we've got the 1 seed versus the 16 seed. Well, no, I don't think pizza's a 16 seed, but beef jerky is clearly a 1 seed. I think Cliff Bar is probably the 2 seed in the whole bracket. I mean, no offense to pizza. I love pizza, but it's not a disc golf snack, folks. I mean, I don't care what kind of Tupperware you're bringing with you. That is a waste of time, and your hands going to be greasy. We didn't even talk about the greasy hands. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I'm done. I mean, that was an amazing thing to snack on. I'm probably gonna keep eating this pizza, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, if this was a what do you want to eat right now bracket, sure, pizza. That's not what this is. Let's move on. Oh man, that Cliff Bar PB&J matchup. That's pretty intriguing.
Boy, it's gonna get heated, folks. This is.
That's not as easy as what we did here today.
I don't know what I'm gonna pick.
Yeah. So.
I've taken the next step in the peanut butter and spicy. I went out and bought ghost pepper honey with the suggestion of somebody from one of our watchers listed that as another topping to add to the PB and spicy, and I haven't made it yet. I might debut that on the next.
Please do.
All
Please do.
right. Well, thanks to everyone for participating. Like they said, surely there's still 90 perfect brackets out there. I can't imagine that those weren't just like softball, just knock them out of the park, easy. That just gave us an excuse to eat pizza and crackers is all it was, I guess.
Yeah.
This came with 8 crackers, and I just ate one, and it's going to be thrown away with 7 crackers still in the package.
You want to hear a real nightmare story? I bought 8 of these sleeves because they didn't have just one.
They don't.
And I had to do the show. So I got I
had to go to a gas station.
Many of these.
Yeah.
I had to go to a gas station. I couldn't buy 6 packs of Lint's cheese crackers.
I got so many of those. I hope maybe my daughter will like them. We'll see.
When we go back on tour, those things have like a 3-month expiration. We'll see before then. Just bring them to us because I really do buy those. Because that's when anybody that knows me knows that on backups I am eating those the Ritz cheese crackers just because they're easy. I know they're kind of messy, but half the time I'm.
So wow. So if we went to a tiebreak, he would have put those through.
Oh,
God,
sure.
Good thing we did not make that mistake, big fella.
Because I really do buy this. I buy Cliff Bars too, but I really just eat the crackers because they're not so filling. It's like Germ said, like eating the whole thing is just kind of like on a 2-minute backup is kind of a lot.
I always thought you had a great arm and great mind for the game. Now I see why you never really made it. Now I know why you
never
made
it. So easy.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Yep, that's the reason. You have the talent, you got the mind, you got the arm. You don't got the stomach for professional disc golf.
I'm not arguing with you there. All right, let's move on. Real quick, I want to remind you guys we are giving away these 2020 Big Sexy discs. Got this beautiful Destroyer, got this beautiful AVR 3. If you can't wait, and if you don't win here in a little bit, you can always check them out at the shop at JomezPro.com. We've got the 2020 Big Sexies. We've got our Tour Series discs, the Nukes. We got shirts and hats and Lunas and socks and whale sacks and all kinds of goodies. So thank you all for your support. We could not do it without you going on there with the merchandise. Also our Patreon over at patreon.com/JomezPro. This broadcast, like I said before, is not sponsored by Cliff Bars or Ritz Crackers or anybody else. It's basically sponsored by the patrons over at patreon.com/JomezPro. So we thank you all because here we are 7 episodes in, and without a doubt, without that support that we get from the shop and from Patreon, like we're just talking into a microphone and a camera and it doesn't go anywhere because we wouldn't be able to afford the internet bill that it takes to talk at you for an hour a week.
And Nate can't buy any more white doors without you guys' generous donations, so keep those coming in.
And Germ can't
for
get
real.
Free mini racks without people's support.
Hey, it wasn't completely free.
Oh, yeah, you paid the shipping.
I paid for shipping.
That's still free.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for Q&A. We got a couple more from the social media, but we're going to try to pull at least a couple from the chat. So go ahead and let those questions come in, and in the meantime, we're going to answer a couple from the social media from earlier today. And like I said, if your question gets pulled from social media, shoot us a message at SHOWMEZ@JomezPro.com, or just go to JomezPro.com/SHOWMEZ for details on how to claim your $20 gift card to the website. Question for Jomez Crew. Any chance of adding a radar gun to your equipment to track speed of throws? That is something that people ask us quite a bit. It's something that Central Coast, Ian and the boys over there started doing, and I think it's awesome. I think it's like really good to add to like another element of the coverage. So it's just something that we haven't implemented just yet, because we've got everybody that we have is so busy, and it requires like a whole nother hand to track the throw, just to radar the throws and to write them down and stuff, and then graphically. So those guys are doing a great job, because we still have our hands full every day. So that's something that perhaps we will do down the line, but for now, definitely huge props to Central Coast for implementing that for probably 2 or 3 years. Let's see what else. Oh, another question for the crew. This question is for Jomez. I have a ton of video footage I want to edit and make a disc golf fill video. What editing program do you guys use? I also got my Big Sexy T-Bird 3 today, and it's awesome. We'll appreciate that, Terry Wolf, for the support, for picking up a Big Sexy T-Bird 3. As far as the video editing, we edit with Adobe Premiere Pro. It's like a monthly service. They've transitioned it over the years from buying software outright for a ridiculous amount of money to now it's a lot more. It's definitely more people. It's more accessible is the word I was looking for to really anybody that can afford like $30 a month or something to get out there and learn. Of course, there's free programs as well, but I would definitely recommend Adobe Premiere Pro if you want to start getting into editing. Like all these guys, Simon and Eagle, and so many other people, I'm 99% sure that's what they're using, because it's just in a lot of the opinion of a lot of people that are doing the video editing YouTube thing, it's the best. So let's see, one more question from social. Do you have one, Mike?
Yeah.
Here we go. From the chat, Jared Gallwitzer. What does your dream hole consist of, Germ?
My dream hole consists of, you said Germ, right?
Yes, sir.
My dream hole maybe consists of a par. We're just gonna go par 5 because there's too many elements to just give it a par 3. But I've always loved teeing off at the top of a valley, down over the valley, back up to a clearing where you really get to watch the disc fly. Like maybe like a hole 1 at Maple Hill where you really just get to pump one. There's water there. I mean, Maple Hill hole 1 really is a pretty incredible dream hole. And then the position on that gives you an opportunity to hit a small gap into the woods. I mean, hole 1 at Maple Hill is like almost as good as it gets as far as a starting hole gets. That's it. But just in general, it has the open element and the wood element, and out of bounds and water and all of that. I mean, that's for me, that's ticking off all the boxes.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add. It would definitely have downhill. It would definitely have water. Either probably a par. I don't really care about the par. It could be a cool par 3 where you have a big risk to go over. But yeah, I think Germ hit the nail on the head. You want something where you really get to see the disc fly big, and it's that epic feeling, like signature hole type thing.
Awesome. All right, next question from the chat, from Paul Thompson. When did you have the breakthrough moment in your disc golf career? When would you just say it clicked and just said?
I know it right off the bat. For me, it was winning AM Worlds 2008. It was a goal I had set forth for myself from the time that my best friend Henry Childress got 6th place in Milwaukee the year before, and at that time we were at a pretty similar level in skill. And I thought, okay, I'm 21 years old, and in 1 year's time, I think I can finally give myself a goal for something to shoot for in my life, and see how I do. And I went on to win Worlds by 12 strokes, and it just showed me that it was a goal that was worth, setting aside all that time and all that practice time, and it just propelled me into my pro career.
I don't know if I have quite as strong of a memory of like a singular breakthrough moment, but yeah, I think probably the Junior World Championship is as good a place as any to go, kind of similar to the way Germ felt, where you win sort of an important tournament and you get to kind of go, oh, hey, maybe if I take this serious, maybe the sky's the limit. And turns out it's gotten pretty close. So it's awesome, be able to just kind of rise through the ranks and continue to play after that win in 2003.
I think back, when we started deciding that disc golf was going to be a part of our lives as an adult and, maybe as a profession, we times were different, and telling your parents, that this is something you want to do, you kind of needed something a little bit bigger to validate that. Now you can justify turning pro in disc golf if you're really, really good, because there's a lot more money to win in the sport. But back then, I think having a big signature win like that was a validation. I didn't need it from my parents, but it helped my friends and my parents and my family understand that I was serious about it.
All right, last question before we move on from the chat. Garrett Munz, pick 3 discs only to tour with. 3.
I just had this question literally 2 or 3 days ago. That's so funny.
All right, well then you have your answer ready.
Yeah, I do, but I got to tour with it, and like it's almost word for word the same question that was asked. And my answer then was a Big Germ Thunderbird, a Star Wraith, and a P2.
Nice. So no mid range.
And I could just. Yeah. I think I can get tricky enough with my Thunderbird to alleviate the need for the mid range.
All right.
Yeah. I'm tempted to say new Sexton Firebird, beat up Sexton Firebird, and Destroyer. But no, I probably would take a putter.
You better plug your Firefly, you dimwit.
Yeah, I would. I would take a. I love the Firefly, but I honestly might take a Dart. It can do 2 jobs.
Sure.
If I have to go down to, it almost can play that mid-range role. So I would probably take a Dart, a Firebird, and a Destroyer.
Wow.
Nice. So
that's a surprise.
Neither of them said mid-range at all. Just they can figure it out.
The Dart, man, go put the Dart through its paces. It says putter on it, but don't let it fool you. That thing rips.
And it's so funny. It's like if you're like, hey, give us advice. What's one disc that you should take with you anywhere? We would say mid-range. But we get 3 discs and we don't even have a mid-range.
I would say Dart, though. I would. That's what I always say. When people are like, oh, what's a good first disc? I always go there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I always thought that the Dart was most like a Frisbee. So if you came from Frisbee, I would tell people the same thing, like try a Dart, because I just thought it was like one of those discs that you kind of hold true to the line regardless of like how you release it. That's just...
Yeah. A little more overstable than people think, too.
Right. It holds the stability nicely. I thought a Polecat, because I came from Ultimate, and I thought, oh, this is just like a lid. This is going to be great. But the Polecat was squirrely. It was a little bit too flippy for me. And the Dart would have been a much better segue disc.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for dropping the questions on social media, also on the chat. Just so you know, every week on Monday, check our social media on Monday morning. We're going to always ask you for questions, and that's where you have your chance to win some sweet merchandise. So thanks again for all the questions. All right, as we get closer to wrapping this up, once again, here in just a couple minutes, we're going to be giving away these discs to somebody that is out here on the chat still with us. We appreciate everyone that's out there hanging in there with us. We're going to go ahead and get into our trivia. As always, we do something, we kind of dig back into the earlier parts of JomezPro, kind of like the vault, but sometimes a little more obscure. And today's question is going to be, and we're going to pick one of the first answers we can see, because they kind of come through all at the same time, so we can't always say the very first person to answer, because that's not always how it works. But today's question is going to be, when was the first, as in year and tournament, what year and what tournament was the first time that Big Germ ever did commentary on Jomez Productions? I don't even know if Germ knows this. We didn't even do this one in our rehearsal. I just pulled this one since then. So here we are. We're looking for the first answer that we can find. What year and what tournament was the first time Big Germ did commentary?
I remember.
Germ remembers. We're going to...
The question should be, who did I do commentary with?
I think it is, too. I think
this is a tough question.
I think it's pretty tough. I'm not even... Okay, here we go. Answers are coming in. People are just guessing years. Come on, folks. Year and tournament. Ooh, there's a lot of answers.
Really, not many people would get it right if you said, who did I do commentary with?
Oh,
that would be the tricky one.
I still haven't seen the right answer.
I think it's tricky enough.
Apparently it is.
Yeah, I
remember it like it was yesterday. Come on, where are you guys? Come on.
Yeah, people.
You guys remember it like it was yesterday?
Didn't you say your mom was watching?
Yeah, come on, Mom.
I'm gonna be honest. Some people are going way too far back.
2008.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody said 2008. Oh, there it is. Somebody got it exactly right. Save that. Save that. Do not lose that. All right, let's play the answer. Dude, huge props for getting exactly right. Here we go.
How else could you get it right besides exactly right?
Nice.
Ah, there it is.
Hey everyone, it's Big Germ here. I'm with Eagle McMahon and Simon Lizotte. We're heading into the second round at the Waco Charity Invitational Open. And looking forward to having a really fun round. And love this course. What do you guys think about it?
I don't remember that.
You sound really excited. I like it. I tend to sound really pumped up. The only difference with this hole in the drone shot is that they have the wall down there by the woods, which is out of bounds. So I'm trying to throw a forehand that if it does get a little away from me, I'm trying to keep it low so that if I do get a skip or anything like that,
Whoa.
yeah, well, watch where it lands. Not bad.
Whoa.
Not bad.
That's a sweet spot right there.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You might be the only right-handed thrower who chooses a sidearm on this hole and goes low and
No.
straight.
Eric Oakley probably does.
Low and straight?
Yeah.
You know what that's called?
Why not try easy hyzer? You like make this hole so hard.
It's called coalinging.
Oh.
Yeah, when you throw a sidearm on a wide open, obvious hyzer, it's called coalinging. And this is
I believe that's a shoe-strip
the
term.
second time that he hit the hillside and jumped up and out of bounds of that hill.
That's not supposed to happen.
No, it's supposed to roll back down towards the basket.
That's why the hill's there.
That's exactly why the hill's there.
James Conrad on lead card. That's something special.
It's not that special. That kid's awesome. He just hasn't been on tour
Wow.
long enough for people to see how good he is, man. You're going to see this round. He's got a lot of really good shots. And,
How old is he?
He's in his mid-20s. Maybe I don't know if he's closer to 30 or not, but yeah, he's been playing the game for a long time.
Whoa.
That's why we throw the low sidearm, everyone.
Hey, Germ, I like your putters.
Oh, I got him from this guy who's sponsored by Discmania.
Eagle McMillan?
Yeah.
Igor McManahan.
Igor McMahon.
Oh my gosh, so much was right. Oh god, that was just packed full of stuff. Holy, wow. Sure, yeah. If he got all that down, yeah. I remember jumping over like a wall to get into the back sliding door to do the commentary on that little couch with a little Zoom recorder. Oh
And
my
that little
gosh.
picture I put up there on the screen as well. I remember posting that. That was so much fun. And the crazy thing you talking about, like, you were telling people who James Conrad was. Like that was
that's
3 years
crazy.
ago,
That's-
and you were like, "Hey, like that's not so that's not so crazy to see him." And
Yeah.
then here we are 3 years later, and the dude has won
Well,
a U.S. championship. And
Right, at that time, the tour hadn't seen that much of James Conrad, but being on the East Coast and I played a lot with James, or he was around, and then he was in and out of disc golf. Like he's been playing since he was a kid, but like actually like playing like all the regional events, he was kind of like hit or miss sometimes. And then when he was playing, I was like, this guy's got a lot of skills. I don't think I ever first saw him being like a 1040 rated player. I don't know if he is quite that high, but like being a U.S. champion, like that didn't seem real until, basically 2016, I think, or no, 2017, that year was his breakout year. And he was just all over league cards for the whole season. And then obviously 2018, again, every year since then has just been like another level of breakout for James. And
yeah,
See, now it's just crazy to watch that and have Simon just not know who he was almost.
That was crazy. Yeah, I was muted for that whole spiel, but the gist of it, folks, was that I was saying that Germ was telling people who James Conrad was, and like now looking like the position he's in now. So sorry, I was muted for that entire time. They were like, "You're muted."
Oh.
We don't know what it was, but anyways, we're back now. And that's what I was saying, and then Germ, took it from there. So now I think you get the gist of what I was saying. But that was a lot of fun. Congratulations once again to Brock for winning. Send us an email over to showmez@jomezpro.com or jomezpro.com/showmez for all the details on how to collect your prize. Whew, okay, we're almost there. We're going to give away those discs here in a minute. It's time for the Grip 6 giveaway, sponsored by the Grip 6 Belt Company. Be sure to go to grip6.com/JomezPro to get entered. Thanks once again for another week of Grip 6 sticking it out with us through the lockdown. They're giving away these awesome Grip 6 prize packages every week on the show. Congrats to last week's winner, Eric Mann from Palm Bay, Florida. Be sure to go over there to grip6.com/JomezPro to get entered. We will pick a winner every single week that we're doing this, and even beyond once the season gets started back up. I mean, these guys have been our partners for 2 or 3 years now. They're amazing. We love working with them. I know Nate and Germ feel the same way. Germ's about to take his belt off for the
He's going to disrobe.
I like
Already
that.
did.
Let me see that again. Let me see that cutout.
That's a Texas size. That's that Texas size buckle.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. That's sweet.
See my finger behind it.
I love the cutout styles. I have one. I have like the salmon one, like the conservation one, and then I have another disc golf one that's like that. So that's just the kind of thing, like, I don't know, something so unique about, like, it's already a unique style belt, but then you get something like that. It's like they're always looking for ways to keep pushing it. So thanks once again to them. All right. What do we got here? Let's do this. We got 2 discs. I'm looking at Michael Warner right here. Sorry, Mike. Michael Warner. He's one of our winners.
Nice.
And let's see. We're just scrambling through.
And my mom? Congratulations, my
And
mom.
Gavin
$1
Riddle.
million.
Gavin Riddle. Michael Warner, Gavin Riddle.
That's
Hey,
not
I
your mom's
dropped the
name.
ball. I dropped the ball in a big way earlier during Munch Madness.
Uh-oh.
My wife got my snack tray ready. She weirdly does not share my passion for white doors, and she told me, "Oh, Germ's always got such a fancy setup behind him. You got to have something." So she put my snacks together on my Canadian National Championship trophy from 2019. So
Nice.
I almost blew it and didn't say anything. Try that on for size, Germ. That and 2 white doors. Tough.
I actually wanted to say I blew something last week, and you just reminded me right now what I forgot last week. And I wanted to give a real quick shout out to my buddy David Weaver. We know him as Baby Weaves around these parts. David Weaver, last Sunday, a week from this past Mother's Day, did the Charlotte Ironman. Folks, that means he played 17 courses in one day. Wow. This fool was up at 3 a.m. He was playing disc golf by 4 a.m. First 3 rounds, he played with flashlights. 17 rounds, finished before it got dark, went home, and slept for 3 days.
He walked like 30. It was like 32 miles walked. Pretty crazy.
Something crazy. He gave me the stats. He shot like 78 under par for the day. We played 1 round together at Shigaw Creek, one of my favorite little short courses around these parts. And I think we started around at 1:40 in the afternoon, and it was his 11th round of the day already. It's just absolutely crazy. Wow. But I wanted to give a shout out to him for that incredible accomplishment. It was such a cool thing that Skeet Sienski, he made a custom stamp for David just to commemorate the day. And I think you'll actually be able to buy like a disc that has 17, the Charlotte Ironman with the date on there. I mean, wow. So if you're obliged to do that, anyways, shout out to David for that. That was really cool.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you to Eagle for joining us. Thank you everyone that's out here on the chat for liking the video, for sharing the link, for hashtagging SHOWMEZ. Congrats to those that won. I promise you there's plenty more giveaways to come. We've got another special guest for you next week. We don't want to say just yet, but here, pay attention to social media next couple of days. We will be announcing that. We're really excited just to keep doing this week after week. We're 7 episodes down. I am just so excited to even have made it this far, just in this new endeavor. Now it's starting to feel a little more normal. Like, what are we going to do when we get back on the road? We got to figure out a way to keep this thing going. I mean, I think the people are just waiting for it every Monday night now, and I'm just glad to have that kind of support behind us. Thank you to all of you out there watching. Thank you to the crew. We got Brian in Colorado. We got Mike sitting over here next to me. Of course, Jerry here. Christina, my fiance. We got Kevin, not in Charlotte. What's it called? I always
Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem. I just don't know the cities over
Just
there.
remember the 2 biggest cigarettes.
Okay.
Winston and Salem.
There you go. My brother Chris running the merchandise all the way over in Waco, and Juan all the way in the West Coast in California. We got a huge crew, and we could not do it without them. This thing runs on just some crazy dedicated people, and of course to Nate and Jerem for taking time away from their friends and families every week. Thank you all for joining us. One last plug for the Patreon. Thank you to the patrons over at patreon.com/JomezPro for making this broadcast possible. Could not do it without you. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Thank you to the Founders Club. Look at all those names scrolling. It grows every single week. We could not do it without you, especially. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.